We are going to talk about soloing today. And this video is going to be especially aimed at those who are getting started into soloing, but you just don't know what to play. And you've already watched videos and you hear things like, oh, just play a major scale over a 2-5-1, but you still kind of feel like it's so many notes. Even though it's only 7 notes, you got this wide range, what you even play, and maybe you've tried and you're sounding something like this. And you're kind of just playing random notes in the scale. So I want to help you find a way to get in the door, get your foot in the door so you could start playing and just know what's going to sound, pretty good. So this is what I'm going to call melodic cells. I just made that up, okay? But bear with me. Let me show you exactly what it is. Melodic cells. So all we're going to do is we're going to take the major scale and we're just going to break it up into 3 cells, okay? And these cells are based on the chord tones. So we're going to forget about the 2-5-1 completely, and we're just going to look at the home chord, home scale, C major. So look at the chord tones of the triad at least, all the way up the octave. And look, our first cell is going to be right here. We're going to fill in the missing note. Second cell's right here. Third cell has a few more notes. So cell 1 is going to be root to the third, okay? And then I want you to solo with just these 3 notes. Most importantly, make sure you're staying in time. So get out a metronome or something and stay in time. Left hand could do a myriad of things. I'm just going to do root and fifth, and here we go. There we go. And there we go. This sounds like something. Maybe not Oscar Peterson, right? But it doesn't sound wrong. And that's because these cells, on the outer edges are chord tones. You can't really go wrong with that. And then we got a passing tone. Okay, cell number 2. It's going to be third to the 5th. Here we go. There we go. Cool. Now, this one's especially important because a lot of beginners misuse this 4th and kind of play it randomly. We get some funny sounds, right? Right? But when you're playing these cells, it's going to reinforce the idea of the 4th being a passing tone between the 3 and the 5. That's not the only way it functions, but it's one of them. Okay. And one of the first ones I think you should learn. It just passes in between, and it sounds great. Or neighboring. That's a neighbor tone. When you play a note and then a note above or under it, and then back to that note, right? All right, and then third zone or third cell, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be the 5th to the root. And this one has a few more notes. And there you go. Cool, we got these 3 zones now. So 1, 2, 3. And so you no longer have to think about the major scale as this one big thing. Now, there is something I want to mention. These 3 zones aren't the end all be all, but it's a way for you to get your foot in the door. And think of it like being a chef. I love comparing food to music. I think it really makes sense. If you are learning to be a chef and you're new at it, and someone said, hey, here's 100 ingredients, you're gonna be overwhelmed, okay? You can be like, no, I don't wanna cook anymore, fuck this. So instead, what if someone said, hey, here's 2 ingredients? Okay, that's much more palatable, all right? And then you could just go make eggs or something, eggs with some salt and some bacon and whatnot, and then you expand. So that's what these little cells are for, right? Because eventually you don't think of it this way anymore. You just will kind of know what things are going to sound like because you practice them in these small little units. Anyways, let's bring you back. So what can you do with these cells besides just playing within the cells? Well, there's a couple things. So here are some ideas for you. So what you can do is cell hopping. Just literally making up words today. Okay, cell hopping. So it sounds exactly like what it is. I'm gonna play in the first cell. Then maybe I'll go to the third cell. Second cell. First cell. Third. First. Second. Third. And there we go. Now, what else can you do? Well, you could always like just throw in a random chord tone. That's always exciting. Chord tones are just always gonna work, okay? So check this out. Like cell 1 to the G. There we go. So I did the chord tone up there and then down there. So that's just always gonna work. Okay, what else can you do? You can just combine cells. Now at this point, we're just getting back to the major scale, right? So this is really just the full scale. Because what we did first is we broke the scale into these cells and now we could bring it back. But now you're not just bringing it back from scratch. You're bringing it back after having built a relationship with each cell. So now there's a little more there, right? So let's kind of combine things. So if I combine the first and the second, I get like just a 5-finger scale. Okay, we'll call it that, the 5-finger scale. But we're not just gonna play them randomly. You could think of the cells. See, I did the first cell for a little bit, then second. See where I am? Cell 3. 2. And essentially, you're just playing the major scale. Right? Now, I think if you do enough of the cell stuff, it gets in your ears and you're able to just play the scale. But again, now you have a little bit more intention because you've worked on those smaller units. Now, let's take this back to a 2-5-1. You don't have to change a thing. You can just keep thinking about the cells within C major scale. And this is what we would call like playing diatonically or playing the key. This is not playing the changes. We're not changing scales or changing chord tones. We're just thinking C major all the way. I'm just gonna play these 7th chords in the left hand with some inversions. So D minor 7, G7, C major 7. Here we go. Third cell. Second. It's kind of that random chord tone, right? Now, I literally just played 3 of the cells in a row. 3, and then cell 2, and then cell 1. I'm gonna do that again. It's higher. Now, obviously, the rhythm is what makes it interesting. Now, listen to that. I literally played cell 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Cell 1. That random G. Look at that. So I did, that was cool. Cell 1 to this, jumping down to this chord tone, and then cell 3 to this chord tone. Awesome. I hope these melodic cells will help you get started and just start playing stuff without worrying so much about things sounding good or bad and just automatically having something that's going to sound okay. So have fun.